bitrate you have set, because that bitrate doesn't actually include the audio. And once again, if I was having problems or difficulties with my upload speed, this would be red and we'd be dropping a lot of frames. So this is the first thing you want to check, and you want to do it while you're live streaming. That's the only thing that's going to give you the information that you need to go to the next step. Now we know which process is causing our dropped frames, and if no dropped frames showed up in the stats window, then it could be a matter of how you're sending the signal to the streaming service. So if your stats look good, the next thing you need to check is the proper settings for your streaming service. First, before you check your streaming service settings, are you streaming on Wi-Fi? If so, then you can stop troubleshooting right here. Plug your machine in and try again. Wi-Fi is great for surfing the web and watching movies on your iPad, but it's not for live streaming. Here is the YouTube streaming service page, and it basically has all the information that we need to set up our stream so it will properly run on YouTube. If we go down here to 1920 by 1080 at 60 frames per second, it lists the resolution and the video bitrate that we should have, and the same thing for 1080 at 30 frames per second. Then when we go down here, we can see our encoding settings, what it's expecting from a video codec perspective, how many keyframes we should have, the audio codec, the bitrate encoding, CBR. These are things that you can check and set in your OBS so that you can make sure that you're streaming the way that YouTube wants to receive it. And if you do that, you're going to get much better results on their end without dropped frames. The same thing goes for Twitch. It's right here. This actually has specs for NVIDIA encoder and the X264 encoder. Each one of these has the kind of settings that you're going to find right in OBS so you can set it up properly. You have your preset as quality, it gives you your B frames, it gives you your bitrate, everything that you could possibly need on both NVIC and X264. So if you set your settings up right, you shouldn't be dropping any frames at all when you stream to Twitch. And Facebook is no different. It gives you all the information on this page right here. All three of these pages are linked in the description so you can check them out, and they're going to give you all the information that you need to stream at the resolution that you're streaming at. You can see here we've got the CBR encoder. It tells you need to be in 16 by 9 aspect ratio. It wants H.264, the common standard stuff, and most of your settings are already set up this way, but maybe they're not. Maybe your bitrate is too high. If you're streaming at a bitrate that's too high, these encoders that are on the service side are going to have to re-encode your stream, in which case you don't know what you're going to get. If you stream it at the proper bitrate right out of OBS, your results are going to be much better. Owned is a website that offers anything a Twitch streamer could possibly want. On Owned.tv, there are thousands of overlay packs with alerts and stingers built in, as well as emotes and badges, and like I said, just about everything you could want. But what really excites me is the Own Pro site. On Own Pro, you download a plugin for OBS, and in OBS, you can browse and select from thousands of overlay packs that download and are set up completely right out of the gate in OBS. You can add alerts and labels and modify the text and even create custom layouts in just a few minutes. And they all have custom stingers that are set up with the profile so you don't have to do anything. You just download them and they're ready to go. In just a few minutes, you're gonna have a professional stream that looks like you spent $1 million. The best part is, for just a few bucks a month, and I mean less than that crappy Netflix subscription you never use anyways, you're gonna have access to every single one. So you could change it up on every stream. Of course, helping me continue to make content that helps you. So thanks. Now let's get back to those dropped frames. More than likely, your problem did show up in the stats window. So the next issue is encoding or rendering frames lost in the stats window. And while this is two separate things, the contributing factors are generally exactly the same. The third thing you should check is your encoding settings. So we need to go into our settings window, and we're gonna start on